Okay, sir. Thank you. Good evening, participants. Wonderful good evening to all. So today's session deals with marketing management. So we'll proceed with it. So here, welcome all for the 5 days online crash course on UGC. So here are some tips I would like to give to you. So all audience, kindly mute your audio and video. Don't press the present now button. And this PPT focuses on repeated questions asked in UGC Net, important areas to be covered. And in each slide, you can find some points underlined, text given in different color, text within brackets, diagram, etc., which means that it's of great use for your exam. In case of any technical issue, kindly maintain patience and it will be rectified soon. So let's pray the Almighty and start the session. Welcome all participants. Good evening. So here you can view the contents. So both academicians and students would be attending this session. So for the reference purpose, I have given it contents. So you can see all the marketing mix, myopia and segmentation and so on. We need not waste our time in content. So for your reference, later on when you refer my PPT, it will be useful for you. So learning outcomes, some students may be here. So for them, I would like to give some 1 to 2 minutes of learning outcomes. So after this session, participants acquire a good knowledge on various terms and concepts relating to marketing management. They would be able to attend UGC NET or SET, and they'll have more confidence in their subject knowledge, able to get into teaching job. As all of you know, it has become mandatory to pass UGC NET or SET to enter into lecturership. So able to pursue PhD through JRF with scholarship, and you all will be able to analyze, categorize, compare, and differentiate the concepts learned and be able to attend the MCQs. So here I have given the whole world today depends on marketing. So you can see the various concepts: communication, creative, websites, logo, email, newsletters, brochures, flyers, and whatnot. So the entire world today depends on marketing, and I'm very happy to meet you all with such a potent topic today this evening. So let us start. So what is marketing? So here I have given the very, very key points. We can tell it as a juice, right? So the extract, the final extract. So marketing is the study and management of exchanging relationships. It is the process of creating relationships with and satisfying customers, arena for potential exchange. It includes the policy, techniques, and methods necessary for selling and distribution. And the word market is derived from the Latin word mercatus, meaning merchandise, trade, or a place where business is conducted. So here I have given, so wherever you see the MCQs are nothing but multiple choice questions. You can see the exchanging relationships, business process, Latin word, from which language they have asked in UGC NET, and from which word it has been derived. So all these things I want to focus. So we'll pass on to next one. Objectives of marketing. So to ascertain consumer needs, convert them into ideas, products, or services, satisfy needs, ensuring the optimum use. Mostly all of us would be knowing this. So a very basic objectives of marketing. So the words or the text underlined, you can give importance. Ideas, products, or services, optimum use. They may include some other word, and you have to identify the exact or pick the odd man out. So next comes concepts of marketing. So very, very important. Every time any one or more concept is being asked. Production concept. It is the oldest form of concept where it concentrates mainly on coverage, right? Widely available, whether the products are widely available. The firm focuses on production and economical aspects, economies of scale, etc. Product concept, none other than performance. If they ask the concept, you must know the meaning, and if they give the meaning, you must know the concept so that you can choose in MCQs. So performance is nothing but product. Now, obviously, we want a quality product. innovation, lot of features, and product improvement. All these things come under product concept. Selling concept, so promotion, large scale selling is being focused here. Marketing concept, so within bracket I have given in which concept customers focus means you have to tell marketing concept, customer first. So here a line goes like this. You have to focus not to find right customer for your product, but right product for your customer. So this line, if they give, we want to identify it's the marketing concept. Societal concept, well-being of consumer, we can tell green marketing, sustainable marketing, etc. as examples. Holistic concept, 360-degree approach. So what do you mean by this 360-degree approach? So here, the exact meaning goes like this, where everybody who's indulged in firm, in the company, in the marketing line, from everyone directly or indirectly related to business, their opinions are being asked. So that we call it as 360-degree approach. Ideas and suggestions from everyone who are directly or indirectly related to business are taken to match the marketing trends. So next, an important concept, holistic marketing, we can develop to certain extent, and it's important to, in exam point of view, 4 components of holistic marketing. Holistic marketing, it's nothing but all departments. The exact meaning goes like this. All departments, R&D, research and development, marketing, finance, HR, etc. work collectively. So that we call it as holistic marketing. All their suggestions are welcome. So they won't tell you are from marketing, you are from finance, you need not give this idea, I am not ready to give this idea. So not like that. So they work together, right? Work collectively. That we call it as holistic marketing. So 4 components, main 4 components. Relationship marketing. So they try to create strong relationship among the sellers and the buyers. Strong relationship, we can tell so many examples. It will follow CRM, customer relationship management, etc. Integrated marketing. So 4 P's, product, place, price, and promotion. It gives importance to that. Internal marketing. So whereby the hiring, training, motivating, and inculcating values in employees are more given importance. Performance marketing. So focus on returns. So all these things will be successful only if they get enough returns, right? So performance marketing. So these 4 components are very important in holistic marketing. If they ask MCQs, they may leave one marketing, or they may ask put another marketing inside it and tell you to pick the right one. So here comes the marketing process. So very important for MCQs, multiple choice questions. Situation analysis. So there are 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, and 4 I have given inside it. Situation analysis, marketing strategy, marketing mix decisions, implementation, and control. Situation analysis. So the process, the very first thing is for any firm is to identify the situation, right? So in which economy they are, how about their demand and supply, what about the whether inflation or deflation, and all those things comes under situation. So they have 3 tools, right? Very important tools for situation analysis: PEST, SWOT, and 5C analysis. PEST is nothing but political, economical, social, and technical factors. So they have to analyze. All these things comes inside it, right? Political, economical, social, and technical factors they have to analyze. SWOT. So most of the academicians and most of the students, we are well aware about SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Then comes 5C analysis, which is nothing but company, customers, competitors, collaborators, and climate. Climate is what I have already told you. So the economical situation, we call it as climate. So these 3 things can be taken as situation analysis. Next, step 2 comes as marketing strategy. It is called as STP, right? Segmentation, targeting, and positioning. STP approach. So in detail, I will later on cover it. It is coming in future slides. So they have to adopt any type of strategy in order to reach the market. The third one is marketing mix decisions. Already 4 P's we are going to see. And the last one, implementation and control of the whole what to tell, the whole process. Implementation control, which is nothing but continuous monitoring of all these activities of marketing. So these process 1, 2, 3, and 4th step, right? So best if they ask in which step or which analysis it comes, you have to tell situation and what do you mean by STP, expand STP, and marketing mix, the do come in process, yes, and implementation and control is nothing but continuous monitoring. We shall move to next one, the marketing mix. So very simple one, product, price, promotion, place. So everybody are familiar, so I need not waste my time here. So they have given me a great job of covering the entire unit, right? All the full marketing management in very few hours. So I have prepared in such a way it might prove to be a great justice also, right? So wherever I think it's not important, I'll just pass the next slide. So marketing is everybody knows. So we shall go to the next one. So here 4 P's: product, price, place, promotion. So always there are MCQs in this 4 P's. First one is, I would like to tell, it was popularized by Neil H. Borden in his article, The Concept of Marketing Mix in 1964. Who popularized the article? Neil H. Borden. But students or whomsoever attend the exam get confused with Jerome McCarthy and Neil Borden. So it is Neil Borden who popularized, or which means who gave the origin, right, of the concept. But later it was grouped into 4 as 4 P's by E. Jerome McCarthy. So this is very, very important on MCQ's point of view for UGC NET or SET. So next we'll, a new term, right, was given by Booms and Bittner. We call it as 7 P's in 1981. So the very first thing I have given comprises the 4 P's plus, which means already the 4 P's are there. Along with that, he has given people, process, and physical evidence. So people is nothing but which are essential in marketing of any product or service, process, sequential order of tasks done. So many process, he thought it is also to be included. And physical evidence, all the non-human elements like equipment, furniture, etc. So along with 4 P's, he added 3 more P's and gave it as 7 P's in 1981, which is called as Booms and Bittner's 7 P's. So next we'll go to, am I audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So next comes the Lauterborn's 4 C's of 1990. It's nothing but customer, cost, communication, convenience. So he asked, so everything you give to product, place, price, and what about the customer? What about the cost? What about the communication? What about the convenience the customers has to have? So many after sale service. What about their discounts? What about their coupons and so on? So Lauterborn's gave 4 C's. Again, the MCQs deal with goes like this. Who gave 4 C's? Right? So you have to name the person. And if any C is confused with it, right? Customer, cost, communication, convenience. Other than this, if something else intrudes in, you have to identify. Next comes a very important term, marketing myopia. So the term we all know, myopia is the eye. So I have given the spectacles, right? So we have short sight or long sight. That is a defect, right? So due to so many problems, it comes adequate frequent reading or seeing TV nearby or something, some defect in eye. So marketing myopia is nothing but what Theodore Levitt, it is given, the concept is given by Theodore Levitt, and he is editor of Harvard Business Review. He published the journal, he published his article in the same journal, Harvard Journal, in 1960. And what he defines is, right, marketing myopia is being defined by him as myopic cultures would pave the way for a business to fall due to short-sighted mindset and illusion. So most of our students, right, when we teach, they don't know about myopia. They ask what is marketing myopia, and then MCQs are asked, they choose a wrong answer. So it's nothing but when we have a defect, we can't see properly, right? So likewise, when the company has defect with it, it can't see the economy well. That's what told by Theodore Levitt. So short-sighted. So he thus he has told business will fall due to short-sighted mindset and illusion. Illusion is something which we don't have, but we used to see like that, right? So illusion. So, and your mindset also should be proper so that you cover the entire economy, entire market, entire customers. So this we call it as marketing myopia. So what to do? Marketing myopia suggestions, right? So in order to avoid all these problems, so when they look very narrow, the market, right, they won't be able to capture the demand. So what's the problem? Where lies the problem? Why your product is not going on? And so on. So many questions, right? So marketing myopia suggestions, he has given consumer focused, innovative, position to control, understand consumer desires, research program, customer feedback based strategies. So these points, I might tell, plays a very vital role, right? A marvelous role. Consumer focused, we all know. Innovative features, we expect lot of innovations, right? And position to control. So we can't let our products just like that into the market. We have to control it, understand consumer desires, and lot of research programs we undergo now to identify the problems, prospects, so what type of modifications can be done, etc. Customer feedback based strategies, very, very important one. So what they are liking would be given only in the feedback. The disadvantages can be rectified. Next comes market segmentation, a very important concept. Segmentation. So next thing I have given everything. So what to do? So if we don't want to look the market in myopia, so the very important tool which will help the firm and the company as well is market segmentation. It's nothing but certain requirements are there: identifiable, accessible, substantial, unique needs, durable. So before this, market segmentation is nothing but it has gone one or two slides ahead, right? The meaning is segmenting the market so that the heterogeneous is being converted into homogeneous market, same type of demand. The requirements are identifiable, which means it must be measurable. We just can't segment the market and leave it, right? So you have to measure it. And accessible, very important. Reachable. So accessible, your product must be reachable every nook and corner of the society. Substantial, sufficiently you have to segment the market in somewhat large, not very small, right? Too narrow or too crooked, you can't do like that. And unique needs, so I may have my own need, you will be having your own need. So needs are different depending upon person to person. It differs from person to person according to taste, preference, right, income level, whatever. So many things are there. So they have to respond. The market segmentation has to be done in such a way that it responds differently to different marketing mix. So durable, stable segments to reduce cost of changes. It's nothing but the segments have to be stable enough so that whenever the firm frequently changes everything, lots of burden are put to them in expenses, by way of expenses. They have to expend more, right? So let the segments be stable. Again, I have given here, at least in segmentation, you get 1 to 2 questions, right? So that too in this requirements: identifiable, accessible, substantial. So 1 to 2 questions are asked frequently. We'll move on to next one. Basis of market segmentation. So here, geographical basis, demographical, psychographical, and behavioral. Again, I have told you, market segmentation from exam point of view is very, very important. All the latest trends, how the market is being segmented, what is its meaning, its requirements, and I'll tell you if, the slides are ahead too. So geographical segmentation, where the company segments the market on the basis of country, city, density, language, climate, area, and population. Demographics, we can tell age, gender, income, education, social status, family, life stage, occupation. Psychographics, so which means the lifestyle, AIO concept, activity, interest, opinion, and concerns, personality, values, attitudes. So what we feel, the inner feelings we have, right? I may think to get one type of product, you may think to buy another type of product, depending upon all these things: lifestyle, interest, personality, values, attitudes, etc. So behavioral, benefit sought, purchase, usage, intent, occasion, buyer stage, user status, life cycle stage, engagement. So all these things deals with behavior. So on basis of these classifications, a firm or company can go for market segmentation. Again, MCQs, multiple choice questions are asked giving any of the inner factors. So lifestyle comes as, right, psychographics. Gender comes as demographics. Climate, population comes as geographical segmentation. Buyer stage, user stage, life cycle all comes under behavioral segmentation. Very important in exam point of view. So next slide. Levels of market segmentation. The first level I have given, mass marketing. Mass marketing. So the key word I have given for you to understand easily, immediately it comes into your mind. So in such a way, I have added some pics also for you to make the session interesting or to remember easily, right? Entire consumer base. Mass marketing doesn't concentrate on few people, right? So this group or that group. Example, you can see in the pic itself, paste. So everybody uses it. And the powders, the liquids, the washing liquids. So which easily reaches the consumer. Entire consumer base they are supplying. We call it as mass marketing. Not concentrating on a particular thing, right? A particular segment. That we call it as mass marketing. And next here, so this slide must be given previously. Market segmentation. Marketer divides the market into different segments depending on the consumer buying behavior, requirements, purchasing power, etc. So you can see different types of cars, right? So one may prefer the first one, the second one, or the other one may prefer to buy the third one, depending upon various circumstances, right? So when these cars are placed in different segments depending upon the customer's income level, purchasing power, their need, their interest, their lifestyle, everything we can call it as market segmentation. So next comes the term. These are all continuous, and each and every slide I have given it very focused, right? Everything continues. One thing continues, market segmentation, the types of marketing, and it goes on, right? So niche marketing. So within bracket, I have given very specific segment. So you can tell this Harley Davidson motorcycles, right? Is not apted by all. right? So those who are interested, those who want to purchase it, those who want to buy it vigorously, so they have lot of interest over it, they like to purchase it. So very specific segment. So you can tell many examples. And one more bike, K7, something like that. So youngsters prefer. We can tell examples like that. So niche marketing, do remember participants, it's nothing but the product is very exclusive and concentrates on very specific segment. So next one, micro marketing. So I have given the meaning, demands of small section of people within a radius of local market. So this is this picture itself tells you the meaning, right? So nearby stores, if you are in a locality, the shops near your home, right? Hometown shops, the local markets, micro marketing. So we all live in an area, a colony or apartments like that. So we always used to go to the local markets nearby. So that we call it as micro marketing. And next one, target market. So we have seen this in the marketing process, STP approach. So I have given MCQ asked to expand STP, segmentation, targeting, positioning. So how you are going to identify a target market? How a firm, how a company is going to identify the target market? Target market is nothing but the final consumer, right? So the consumer who has adequate purchasing power, who is willing to convert his need into purchase. We can call it as target market. So three components plays a vital role: segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Select under segmentation, you can tell select base. So on what basis the firm is going to segment the market. Targeting, evaluate segments attractiveness, select one or more segments as targets. Positioning, it's nothing but develop position for each segment, develop marketing program for each segment. So where you are going to positioning? Segmentation, all right, the firm has segmented the market into various types, right? Geographical, demographical, on the basis of age, on the basis of gender. So you can tell children, youngsters, old age. So targeting, so when they look into their product, so whom is their target? So whether youngsters, whether chocolates, ice creams for children, mobile phones for youngsters, like that is target. And they have to position those products among them. So STP approach plays a vital role in target market. So again, an important topic. So where I have given 1 to 2 MCQs are being asked, product life cycle stages. So in this one slide, we are going to explain. So right, my dear participants, PLC, right, short known as product life cycle known as short PLC. It consists of introduction stage, growth, maturity, and decline. So last stage, you can see both revenue and profit is going down. Here, anybody can understand this diagram, right? All you people are great academicians, right? Professors, lecturers, and some may be students also. So they might be very familiar with this PLC. But what I'm going to tell is, what about introduction stage? So they MCQs relate not to the base questions. They ask in which stage more promotion is given. So let me explain. In introduction stage, the marketers give importance to quality, selective distribution is maintained, promotion, heavy promotion is done in introduction stage, and low penetration pricing is adapted. So introduction, the product has to go into the market, whereby they fix very low price, which we call it as penetration pricing, very low price, so that it penetrates into the market. So growth stage seeks to increase market share. Coming to growth one, right? Seeks to increase market share. Additional features of a product is added. Supportive services are given, and added distribution. When compared to introduction, selective distribution is there. And selective distribution is nothing but only through single channel, right? to somewhat they add a little bit of extras, right? Or the retailers may add, maybe added like that. And the third one is maturity, where the sales starts diminishing, competition appears obviously, and intensive distribution is adapted very intensively, very seriously. The firm or the company adapts the distribution process, because nook and corner, the product has to be available. So intensive distribution is adapted and lots of incentives are given. Decline stage, so totally the product is ready to go out of the market. Discontinue, the firm has an opinion to discontinue the product or sell their product to another firm. Find new uses of the product, uses, right? One or more uses. So why not we change the product? Why not we change the nature of product, the color, the feature, whatever may be, right? So totally they like to change it because it is ready to die. So that's simple meaning. So where intensive distribution is followed, where selective distribution is followed, where promotion is made heavy, and where market share is increased, where competition appears, all these things you can expect in your MCQs. Next comes product mix. So it is also called as product assortment, another word of product mix, complete range of products, number of product lines that a company has for its customers, and 4 dimensions of product mix. So one by one, if you understand, in marketing management, we are going to explain all the 4 P's, right? Price, place, promotion, product. So product, inside it, we have a lot of things, right? So market segmentation, the latest trends, PLCs, and so on. Everything is correlated. It is also called as product assortment. Good. So complete range of products a company offers, it's called as product mix. And number of product lines that a company, right? One company may have so many products, Johnson and Johnson, Dow, so many things. So today, no company is having a single product, right? If I'm not wrong, right? No company is vested with single product. They have multiple products. And the main thing for exam point of view is the dimensions of product mix: breadth, length, depth, and consistency. So breadth of a product mix. So within bracket, I have given very simple, my dear participants, you can understand. So when you remember, right, breadth of a product mix, it's nothing but the number of items the company offer. Here I have given ITC example. They deal in food. You can take Reliance, P&G, Procter and Gamble, Hindustan, etc. Right? Anything can be given. So number of items: food, cigarettes, lifestyle retaining, stationery, anything can come, right? These are 4 different items which we call it as breadth of a product mix. Next comes length of a product mix, a number of items in product mix. So what I have given, example 7, right? So inside, if you count, in food we have 2 types, cigarettes we have 2 types, 2 plus 2, 4. Lifestyle retaining, we have John Players as brand, 4 plus 1, 5. And stationery, under ITC, they come, they give the product under the name Classmate and Paper Craft. So totally we have 7. So do remember, length is nothing but the total of items under the product mix, each and every product mix. Next comes depth of a product mix. So I have given the exact meaning, variance of each product in the product line. So there we saw in food, we saw Kitchen of India. So under Kitchen of India, you can see the curry, paste, Sunfeast, etc. So product itself is divided into product line. So only the food. So in cigarette, you can take the flavors, and in John Players, you can take the varieties, and so on, right? So only one thing I have given here. So if I go previously, so if I'm fast, right, I do repeat the slide. So Kitchen of India I have given here for length, and for depth of a product I have given the items specified inside, which are coming variety, right, under Kitchen of India. Next comes consistency. All these four aspects you might be confused, but you have to remember the exact meaning so that you can choose the option correctly when asked. Repeatedly questions are being asked. Consistency of a product mix. The consistency of a product mix shows the extent to which the product lines are closely related to each other's in terms of their end use, distribution requirements, production, price, etc. So you have seen breadth, length, depth, etc. Right? So how far they are closely related, we call it as consistency. So in ITC's products, they are less consistent because food is a different one, cigar is a different one, the clothing is a different one, and the stationery is a different one. What consistency means that the output of one thing will be the input of another one, right? So they need not search anywhere else outside for their products. Each product will be closely related. So you might take example as shampoo. If any company gives a particular brand, right, only one brand comes, only one shampoo variety comes. Later they add flavors, they add dandruffs, like that. Closely they are related. So they don't go to any other one, any other variety, totally a different one, from manufacturing shampoo to food, right? So that we call it as consistency of a product mix. Next comes product levels. Again, I forgot to give the MCQ, right, here point of view, but you people note down. Here it's very important to explain all these product levels: potential product, augmented product, expected product, generic product, core product. So what do you mean by product levels? Each and every firm, right, so give their own product. So they would like to compete with others. So always MCQs, multiple choice questions, one mark questions are asked in set or net about this types of products. What do you mean by potential? What do you mean by augmented? Or they give the meaning and give the exact terms in the option. So let us have a quick explanation, right? A potential product. If Google and Facebook, when you compare the rivalry between Google and Facebook, for example, right, we tell it as a potential product, which means provides additional tangible and intangible features. Now you could understand, I think so. So when one feature is added to Facebook, one more feature is added to Google. When they add some more features, here also some more features are added. So there is rivalry between them. So potential product is the additional features a company wants to give. Augmented product gives more than physical product and sets it apart from competitors, going beyond, right, beyond our expectations. Example I have given, I would like to tell BMW, right, Audi. Likewise, augmented product beyond our expectations, very posh, right? So some people like that. So competitors can never reach it. So equal to them only alone can give, but none other the ordinary companies cannot compete with it. Only thing is augmented product means beyond the expectations. And next comes expected product. Participants, when you go to a 5-star restaurant, when you people go to a ordinary restaurant, what you will expect, right? So that we call it as the expected product. We won't be, if you people visit a 5-star, you will be expecting all the facilities like a 5-star hotel. If we go to a normal restaurant, that facilities is different. So what the expected product, the company has to analyze. Next comes the generic product. So it's very simple one. Generic product means they don't give importance to brand name. For example, if you go to a medical shop and ask paracetamol, right? he immediately gives a paracetamol tablet. Do we see the name of the company or which name the medicine is? No. So paracetamol is a general name. If you go and ask cool drinks, right? Any type of cool drinks they may give. So generic product means they don't give preference. They don't give importance to brand. It is rather generally placed. And next comes core product. So very important one, the basic benefit which gets fulfilled. The core benefit. If you buy a washing machine, that is a core benefit, which is to wash clothes. None other than that, right? The basic benefit gets filled. Hope all of you are following. So I shall move to the next slide. What do you mean by market positioning? Market positioning is the act of designing the company's offerings and image to occupy a distinct place in the target's mind. So according to Philip Kotler. So positioning, already I have made you familiar with all these terms, right? Positioning, in previous slides we have seen the act of designing the company's offerings. They might give the definition in NET or SET exam. They give the exact definition, and in the options you may have positioning, segmentation, so on. So unless you know the exact meaning, exact terms, you can't choose the options. Positioning, companies offerings an image to occupy distinct place. So we have a very special place to some products in our mind. So if we are ladies, we opt prestige, right? The kitchenware. So many things we can tell as example. Gents or a male have a attachment towards a brand of clothes, perfumes, etc. So how they are going to attract, how the company is going to offer a distinct place in the target's mind. So in the who familiarized it and where. So it was familiarized in the book Positioning, The Battle for Your Mind by Al Rice and Jack Trout. So I have given in bold letters, describe how positioning is used as a communication tool to reach the customer in a crowded market space. So dear participants, do remember these author names, the book, and the meaning, definition. So when we come to an end, I will tell you how they ask, right? How they used to ask the questions, how you people get confused, and so on. And next comes errors in positioning. When discussing about positioning, right? So we have seen how the markets, the firm is going to design its placement to target the customers. So some errors they do under positioning. Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Madam.
Okay, sir. Okay. Just for my confirmation, I asked, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So errors in positioning, under positioning, taking little steps for promotion. So do remember these two terms, right? The main portion, the exact meaning. Under positioning, they'll be spending too little for promotion, which will be very, very inadequate for the people to remember their brand. For example, we can tell, obviously, we come across certain advertisements which we don't remember at all, right? So frequent advertising, we remember likewise, right? They'll take too little steps, which is a great blunder by the company. And over positioning, making the product too special. Right, this is also again a very bad mistake, right? So everybody can purchase, but they make it right that the product is too special. It can be purchased by only a few customers. That is very, very wrong. Over positioning, right? And next comes confused positioning. A company claims two or more benefits, right, which contradict each other. So when you get a product, you might get confused. Oh my God, what is this? I have bought this product for this benefit, but it's not working. Rather than it's some other thing is coming, right? So when they contradict each other, this may occur in medicines, right? So for one thing, the other thing get cured, right? So we can tell confused positioning like that. And doubtful positioning, doubts in promises of the company. So we might experience, right? So many advertisements we see now, colors to reduce your weight, right? All doubtful. Hair oil. So if you put this particular hair oil, your hair will grow very long, right? In just 2 days, you will get fairness in just 5 days. You might lose 10 to 15 kgs in a month. So my God, it's not possible at all, right? So doubtful positioning. These are all the errors. The company, without knowing, make all these promises. So there are these are very important errors in positioning. Next, we'll go to positioning strategies. Where, what do you mean by strategies? So the tactics followed by the company. We saw the meaning of positioning, the errors, right? So now how to some extent, if strategies are followed, it might place its product in a very good position, right? Attribute positioning, special feature or benefit of a product. For example, I have given Raymond's. That word, right, since 1925 makes a lot for us, right? So we think it's of very old, very quality, and it may do like that also, right? Attribute is nothing but the company has to focus on its special feature. And next comes benefit positioning. Company position itself as a leader in certain benefit. So you take a particular benefit, right? Example, I have given Maruti service station. So apart from buying cars, you may bring your cars for service here, right? We are ready to do it. You can give your own examples also, but do imagine, right? Always when a question is asked in a question paper, do compare it with practical things. So where you have gone, what they have told, right? So all marketing is nothing but our life, right? Day-to-day life. Do think among the options. So you can apply all these things in day-to-day life. Benefit positioning. So where benefit is focused, we call it as benefit positioning. And use or application positioning. Corporate position their product for some particular use. For example, have a coffee, you may get relaxed, right? Like wordings, what to tell. So many advertisements focus on use or application. If you use hammam, you will be getting safer position. So some type of applications are being used. This makes you relaxed and something like that, right? So the wordings are put together so that the use or application positioning is used. Corporate position their product for some use with the help of tag. So tag I have not given there. So do remember all these strategies. Strategies continues. User positioning, firm itself as best suited for a particular user class. Johnson & Johnson for babies. Competition pricing, firms claims better than the rival frame. So thumbs up, what thumbs up gives or what Pepsi gives, they both compete with each other. Value positioning, it's nothing but offering best product at lower price. We all know, right? So KFC, Domino's, so on, meals, what like that. So always they have a particular rate. So people will be expecting when they will be offering a discount, coupons, extras like that, right? So when they suddenly the Domino's announces at 129, it is called as value positioning. And next here again, stages for new product. We are seeing products, the various strategies, how they are placed, and so on. So next we'll come to stages for new product development. So again, I have given here, they'll give the jumbled, right? So jumbled arrangement, and you have to arrange it in sequence. So new product development is very important for MCQs. New product strategy is the first one. Idea generation, screening, business analysis, design and development, testing, commercialization. So to summarize new product strategy, so first they have to decide what product will be demanded, right? Something the people is willing to have. Why not we give? So next comes the idea, right, for the development of that product. Screening and evaluation, they have to screen, right? Screening is nothing but screening the market with the help of R&D, research and development. So screening, whereby lot of answers are given to $1 million questions, right? So whether if we introduce this product, whether it will reach, and what are all the difficulties, disadvantages, expenses, budget, etc. And business analysis, obviously the demand and supply, design and development, how the product is going to be designed and its development. Okay, the product is ready, so it is ready for testing. That's why we receive the small samples attached with the newspapers, or when we go somewhere, they stop us and give the sample testing, right? So they are testing the product, and after testing, after analyzing the defects, the black marks, right? Whether they would be knowing in the testing procedure itself, they'll be knowing whether the product moves well, or any mistakes comes, right, on behalf of the customers. They rectify everything, and the product is ready for commercialization. So again, on top, I have given kinds of goods, convenience, shopping, specialty, unsought. Very, very important for exam point of view. MCQs are asked, what, giving a particular thing, right? They'll ask, which type of goods is this, right? Convenience, shopping, specialty, or unsought. So customer buying behavior, so price, distribution, promotion, example. So according to it, I have subdivided. So to simple for you people to understand, convenience goods are frequently purchased, what we purchase daily, day-to-day basis. Shopping goods, you put little more effort, right? When you purchase a dress for your birthday, a wedding anniversary, a function, a party, whatsoever, you might put a little more effort. Specialty, very, very special, too special, jewelry, diamond, platinum, and put lot of effort, right? Etc. Unsought is, you need not buy it. You will be having little awareness or even negative interest. Why am I to purchase that, right? So simple meaning, right? Always they ask a question, one or two questions from this type of goods point of view. If you refer also the question papers, you may see so many question papers, you may see the kinds of goods. So I have given the price, distribution, promotion, and examples. So Rolex under specialty, they may give the goods and ask you, right? Or they may give the meaning and ask which type of goods is it. Distribution strategies, a very important part. Any product must be distributed. So what type of distribution they follow? Indirect distribution, it's nothing but following too many channels. Everywhere we can see, right, here and there, everywhere you go, you can see this distribution. All parts, they give the products. And next comes direct distribution. So certain questions, benefit positioning, example, yeah, Samsung, you can tell, positioning. Okay, yes, very good. So positioning the product to capture the minds, right? Right, and it should be different from the competitor's product. Yes. And saturation level is where the product gives all the benefits to the sellers, right? The marketers derive all the benefits, the consumers derive all the benefits, and it's ready to make a change. So we'll proceed. So direct distribution is nothing but online. So we can tell the example. Selective distribution, we can tell example for Titan, anything, right? So they have their own franchisee, and selective distribution is being followed. Exclusive distribution, for example, I have given BMW and Rolex, whereby exclusive dealership is offered. We can't see everywhere, right? So we can't see some 10 to 20 BMW dealerships. Hardly there'll be one for a district like that, right? And next comes two strategies often asked in questions, which is push strategy, and the next one is pull strategy. So push, you're going to the automatically the product gets pushed into the market, and pull strategy, the marketers has to wait till the demand comes. So I'll explain. Push strategy for push model supply chain is one where projected demand determines what enters the process. For example, if you understand this example, it will be clear for you. Warm jackets get pushed to clothing retailers as summer ends and the winter season starts. Automatically, example, we can tell umbrellas also, the fur rug, etc. So immediately after summer and winter starts, automatically the products are pushed into the market. So that we call it as push strategy. And pull strategy, I have given it in bold letters. If particular company is dealing with computers, they have to wait, right? So they can't push their computers, right? They have to wait till a customer approaches with particular, I want this configuration, I want this benefit, so let me try this brand. So they have to wait. So that is called as pull strategy. So my dear participants, do remember these two strategies are always asked in exam point of view. Next comes the vertical marketing system, which is shortly called as VMS. So it's nothing but, for example, contractual VMS, administered VMS, corporate VMS. So Domino's, we can tell for contractual VMS, where franchise is very simple meaning. So contract basis they give. Administered VMS is where there is no contract between the members of production and distribution channel, but their activities do get influenced. These HUL, ITC and PNG plays a vital role, and what they tell the retailers and wholesalers whomsoever have to follow. So they have their administration with them. And next comes corporate VMS. The very best example is Amway. Ownership and production, ownership of production and distribution with the company itself. So these three things comes under VMS, vertical marketing system. And next comes horizontal marketing system, whereby to simply remember the meaning, whereby if a company lacks in capital, okay, lacks in human resources, and lacks in production technology, lacks in marketing programs, and the company is afraid of losses, right? So they go hand in hand with other company. They keep with them the other companies, even though they are different, right? So that's what I have given. Company A, company B, company C, all the three are different. They join with industry 1, industry 2 and industry 3 for economies of scale, right? Economies of scale, you have to, that's what I have told you. Capital, labor, right? The resources are very small in nature. They like to collaborate with them. So that we call it as horizontal marketing system. So next slide deals with the pricing aspect. So pricing is nothing but amount to be paid in return for a bundle of utilities, generates turnover, obviously. Pricing factors, fixed and variable cost, competition, company objectives, positioning strategies, target group, and willingness to pay, right? So these are the pricing factors. Fixed is fixed in nature, variable cost, which varies, right, according to the demand and supply. So they ask these factors in MCQs. Bundle of utilities, so turnover is called as what, and the pricing tactics, the types of pricing. So if time permits, I will explain. So it takes a lot of time or else simply penetration, very low price, skimming, very high price, competition, what the competitors follow, premium is, it's also called as image pricing or prestige pricing. They keep constant price for a particular product. Psychological is nothing but ending in 999, 199, 299, 399, 9,999 only, and so on. Complementary is, we can give the best example as printer and ink. So they will reduce the price of one thing so that the demand of other thing goes up. Product line is nothing but all the products have the same type of pricing for a company. And then bundle pricing. So what, according to the benefits, right? They according to packages. For example, cable TV channels, cars, and then special meals, a package of pricing, right? Bundle pricing, differential, different price for different products, market oriented, considering market, they fix the price, cost plus pricing, they add certain cost to the cost of the products, and target return. So remembering the investment, keeping in mind the investment, the target return, pricing is fixed. So these are elements of promotional mix, the marketing communications mix. So advertising, sales promotion, public relations, direct marketing, and personal selling. So these are promotional mix. Again, the MCQs goes like this: 5 M's of advertising.
Ma'am, can you repeat previous slide, ma'am?
Yes, Pa, sure. Which one?
Yes, ma'am. Next one,
Price.
ma'am. Next one, ma'am.
Yeah, elements
Yeah,
of, okay, ma. Thank you. So when considering elements of promotional mix, so promotions I have told already, for large scale selling, right? So a lot of promotion has to be done. In what way, right? So they give it in a marketing communication mix. It's also called as promotional mix. They may go for advertising, they may go for sales promotion, public relations. So public relations are nothing but whatever R&D gives, right? So anything is to be conveyed from consumers to the firm to the consumers. So public relations officer, right? We know the duties of him. And direct marketing is whereby we get the products at our doorstep. And personal selling, what the salesman do. All these mix is very important for promotion. So that the participants might know the terms, right? So they must be familiar with all these terms. So all these things contribute to promotional mix. And when taking to advertising, what are the 5 M's? So advertising, we all know. So just the known matters I have not included so much. So when MCQs are asked, little bit advanced, they ask advertising, we all know it is a paid form, right? So paid form done by another company on behalf of one company for pushing its products. So 5 M's. What about 5 M's of advertising? Machine, money, message, and message, media, and measurement. So in mission, I have given certain questions. Money. So what about how much the company is going to spend? Message, media. So which media it is going to choose? Measurement, very important one. Whether advertisements have given them adequate profit, right? So these are 5 M's of advertising. So this slide gives you just the terms you have to know. So today advertising is very, very vast. I have included mostly. So through what a film does, what a banking does, what radio does, a TV, and all the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, software, MMS mobile, and bulk email, pay-per-click, PPC, and all these things, public speaking, kiosk, events, everything. So according to the company, their positioning the product, their method of positioning, they may choose any type of advertising. So how they design the photos, how they introduce the celebrities, everything comes under advertising. So next comes consumer behavior. Again, this is very important in exam point of view. So consumer buying behavior is the sum total of a consumer attitudes, preferences, inventions, and decisions regarding the consumer's behavior in the marketplace when purchasing a product or service. So here I have given attitudes, preferences, inventions, and decisions, right? So these words are used in MCQs. So very simple meaning. Nature of consumer behavior, it is very complex. So we people are very, very complex in nature, right? So nobody knows what we think. Dynamic in nature, we may change, right, as per our situation. Varies from consumer to consumer, influenced by cultural, social, personal, psychological factors, and it reflects the status. So consumer behavior, again, like market segmentation, like pricing, like the definition of marketing, This is again an important point of view for your exam. So nature, they may ask, right? So the series or put a different one into it, right? So nature of consumer behavior. So here I have given again 1 to 2 MCQs was asked in factors influencing consumer behavior. What are all the internal influences and what are all the external influences? So personal factors, psychological factors, cultural, social. Again, the things inside the factors, personal factors, age, income, according to that only we demand, right? So you also will accept, I think so, participants. So psychological factors, depending on our psychology, culture, and social, family. So this is a simple slide. So MCQs are asked, what are the internal, what are the external influences? You must identify the exact one. Here comes the stages, right? The stages of consumer buying decision, processing, need recognition, information search, evaluation, purchase, post purchase. So first you have to recognize your need, then go and search for that particular need, where it gets, what type of information is needed, everything. You are going to evaluate, you are going to purchase, and you are going to tell to others. That will be your post purchase. If you like the product, you would give the word of mouth to another person. So that will be the post purchase evaluation. Again, these steps are jumbled in MCQs and you have to arrange it in order, right? And here comes the types of buying behavior. Again, very important for MCQs. There are 4 types of buying behavior: complex, variety, dissonance, habitual. You have to see, so for complex and dissonance, high involvement is there. So if I am complex buying behavior, I would involve myself lot, right? So high involvement, low involvement will be in variety seeking buying behavior or habitual. So according to my habit, I may purchase, right? So nothing else, I will see very low. If I want to purchase 1 kg of salt, so just like that, I'm going to go to shop, I'm going to buy it, right? So very low involvement. It's my habit to buy that particular brand. Variety also, so I know all the varieties. So when you see this side, right? So when the complex and variety seekers see significant differences between brands, whereas dissonance and habitual buying behavior will see few differences between brands. They won't give importance to brand. As I told, salt, whatever brand, we may get it, right? So if you want to buy some chocolates, immediately you want, so you go and ask for chocolates, right? So few differences, but there they will see lot of brands. I want only this type of brand. So this slide explains the meaning of 4 types of buying behavior. Next comes service marketing. So any activity or performance that one party can offer to another. So they have been adding all these terms, right? In UGC, net, logistics, service marketing, they all add according to the trend. So service marketing is nothing but the last thing, activities, benefits. The last point explains you activities, benefits, and satisfactions which are offered for sale or provided in connection with the sale of goods. So it might be any activity, it might be benefit, right? What the satisfaction level, we call it as service marketing. In coming slides, we will see, right, the service marketing. So here comes again the MCQs. The question answers are asked in characteristics of service marketing, intangibility, that is service cannot be seen, right? So if you help somebody, when you are going in a road, when someone falls, you help, right? So that cannot be measured. So intangible in nature, no physical existence, that thing cannot be measured. Heterogeneity or variability, each service is unique. When a doctor treats a patient, the same way he cannot treat another patient. Each service is very, very unique in nature. Perishability, service rendered cannot be saved or stored, right? Once you help, it is over. You can't tell, look, I have helped like this, so again I will help, so that you can see how I have helped. So perishable, it's perishable in nature. Inseparability, services are generated and consumed within the same time. Example, haircut, right? So you go for a haircut, your hair is being cut, there itself finished, right? Everything is over. Inseparability, so service is rendered by the person who is working in the salon and your haircuts, right? So inseparability. Hope the participants could follow me. I'll go to the next one. Serve-equal model, very important. Service quality model is called as serve-equal model, also called as gap model. It is given by Zithamel, Parasuraman, and Berry. So any academicians would be giving or using this serve-equal model in their project, right, for their students or for their own. It is nothing but to compare service quality performance with customer service quality needs. They are going to compare their service quality with the customer service, right? Allows an organization to prioritize, right? So are we going in a correct way, right? Are our services being delivered properly? Whether the quality is good. So I have given the apt points, right, for serve-equal model. The components of service quality. Quality, it's nothing but tangible elements, reliability, responsibility, empathy. So how we are going to put yourself in another one's place, empathy, right? So all these things gives satisfaction. When they ask in MCQs the components, so the tangible element, service quality, right? When you buy a product, it is of good quality, right? When you go to a bank, they service to a maximum extent, you get satisfied. So when they keep on asking you, right, or their company service is very good for you, you reliable, you rely on that company. So when they move you with proper responsibility, right, so you feel great pleasure. So if they think your problem as their problem, it is empathy. So all these things comes under components of service quality. And here comes the various trends in marketing. Always they ask the different terms what I have given here. So social marketing, you may wonder, right? So what are all these terms? Some familiar with all the academicians and students, and some might be take you to known to from unknown, right? Social marketing is nothing but it benefits individuals and communities. Green marketing, environmentally safe. Rural marketing, so in rural areas, all types of goods must be given. So process of developing, pricing, promoting, and distributing goods, right, in rural areas. Online marketing, spreading message digitally. Direct marketing, directly to the public. Relationship marketing, as I have told you, CRM is very much concerned nowadays, right? How you are going to earn your customer loyalty. Cost marketing, dual purpose, right? So along with their profit, they will see the CSR, corporate social responsibility. That's why you can see free camps, right, conducted by an hospital, or giving the barricades, right, with their names for the which are put in the road. Example, CSR and profitability go side by side. Scarcity marketing, which is based on FOMO, fear of missing out. So FOMO, I have given the expansion. You might be fearing, the company might be fearing. So what about the trees? What about the water? All the CSR type of advertisements, scarcity marketing. We nowadays go, right? Save the water, right? And an egg per day for child. Likewise, right? Fear of missing out. What about if trees are being cutted out? So what about? So we will have a fear, right, of missing out. So scarcity marketing. And viral marketing, very apt to tell now. So consumers spread the information about the product with other people, right? They keep on telling, they spread information. So example, I have given virus spreads from one person to other person. Dear participants, corona, right? I do remember corona now. So like corona spreads, the word of mouth, the consumers spread information about product with other people, but this is safe, but that is unsafe, so let us forget about it. And continuing, undercover marketing, it's also called as buzz marketing or stealth marketing. Hidden marketing, spontaneous, meaning spontaneous, get people targeted. When you are in a group, suddenly they might enter into that group and they start advertising with you, will not be knowing that you are the target, but somehow they pull you inside. That is what the tax hidden market. And evangelism marketing, advanced form of word of mouth. So customers become voluntary advocates. They need not search PROs and all. The customer itself will give the word of mouth. Advanced, he will be very, very loyal. He won't be changing at all. And ambush marketing, ambushes an event. So it is founded by Jerry Welch. Once they asked in MCQs, all these terms you must be thorough, right? So Jerry Welch, what is ambush? So it's nothing but when it is always used in sports, right? When inside an cricket match is going and outside, if they sell some varieties, or any company stands outside the ground and sells their products, people think, oh, these are the sponsors. Oh my God. So if you take Pringles, right? Chips, Lay's, everything, Coke. In World Cup, the ambush marketing was very famous in the very old World Cup. So they got a confusion whether Coke, whether Adidas sponsored or Nike sponsored, whether Coke sponsored or some other company. Like, they use that situation. Hope participants are clear in the meaning. Ambush marketing, they use that situation for pushing their product. So cloud marketing, companies' online marketing effort. Database, by using large database. So when you go to Airtel, they give lots of consumers' name, whereby it may be used for any other purpose. Affinity marketing, where two parties come together. They tell, okay, I will do for this, you do for me, right? I will do for you and you do this for me. So they come into contact. Affinity, right? Understanding. And guerrilla marketing uses creative and imaginative marketing tactics. So next comes logistics management, newly included for the past 2 to 3 tests only. It has been included. Mostly, hardly only 2 previous exams. Logistics management, it is newly topic. So logistic management deals with the efficient and effective management of day-to-day activity in producing the company's finished goods and services. The terms logistics and supply chain management are used interchangeably, but there is subtle difference. So that's what I have given you. Logistics refers to the set of activities ranging from procurement of raw materials to the delivery of the final goods, right? Till the product reaches the consumer. From the moment the raw material is purchased, it is called as logistics, all the set of activities. Supply chain is a network of these organizations that combine with each other to make the final shipment successful. That combine with each other, right? So it's a network of these organizations whereby the raw materials has to be reach the consumer. So many organizations work within that. So that is called a supply chain. The supply of raw materials, its management and distribution is called as logistics management. So this is how. So you can see in the pick, raw material supply, then comes the manufacturer, next step, and from there it goes to distributors, wholesalers, retailers, and the end user. This reverse logistics is nothing but the end users, whether they get the product properly, right? What else the the disadvantages they have faced, the what are the problems, errors, right? So it goes like this. So here I have given types of logistics, inbound logistics and outbound logistics. Inbound logistics, 2 types of logistics are there. These are activities relating to the materials procurement, transportation, handling, and storing. Procurement is buying of raw materials, transport from one place to another, handling and storing. Warehouses, you can tell us examples. Outbound logistics, these are activities related to the maintenance, collection, and delivery of products to the customers. So how they maintain, so how they collect from the inbound, right, from the warehouse, and how the products are delivered to the customers. Inbound logistics and outbound logistics. Next comes 7 R's of logistics management. So logistics management always focuses on right product, right quantity, right condition, right place, right customer, right time, and right price. So what are the 7 components of logistics management? You must be able to know, right? All these things. So product, quantity, condition, place, customer, time, and price. So my dear participants, so till logistics management, hope the entire thing I have made a little bit of justice, right, in the allotted time. So here I have given the tips. So every time I conclude, something has to be taken other than the subject. So note down your syllabus, refer good books, prepare notes, try to teach someone. Time management, keep updated, very, very important one. So in marketing management, mostly everything is updated details here, what I have given. So, but always keep updated, right? Other terms are there, very vast, right? So each and everything you have to get updated, revision, take help of solved papers and mock test. Don't be a bookworm, right? So read your newspapers, journals, what are all the things people experience, what they tell about the company, etc. So any important one, boost of pure confidence level. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So for being patient. So for past 1.5 hours, we are seeing. So this is my contact details. So you may contact me. This is my WhatsApp number too. This is my mail ID. And you can view this in my channel. This PPT, I have shared it to the team also. And in YouTube channel, this is my college campus YouTube channel. So I will post it, this PPT there. You can download it. Thank you, participants. Thank you all. And it's over to Thenmozhi ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We were very much enlightened with today's session. You have carried it out so phenomenally well, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And we have certain questions, ma'am. If you don't mind, could you please
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah,
sure.
Thank you, ma'am. One question is by Swati, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between social marketing and societal marketing concept?
Social and societal.
Yeah, societal.
Both are same only, sir. So social and societal, both green marketing, we can tell as example, affinity marketing, and what else? Sustainable marketing. So if it gains something benefit to the society, the right product for the right customer, we can call it as the same meaning.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There's another question by Tanushri, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
How many marks does this section carry in the exam, ma'am? Marketing management.
So 10 questions are being asked, right? So if you take 10 units, from each unit, you can expect 10 questions. So that gives you 2 marks each. So 10 questions, 8 to 10 questions will come in marketing management. Surely I can tell.
Thank you, ma'am. There's another question by Assistant Professor Betty Roy.
Yes, sir.
Mention few niche marketing examples.
Pardon, sir?
Mention few niche marketing examples.
No, sir, I couldn't get you.
Mention few niche marketing examples.
Can you spell it, sir?
NICHE.
Okay. Niche marketing. Right. Okay. So niche marketing is very, very exclusive. Niche markets are very exclusive. For that, I have given example as Harley Davidson bikes, BMW, the platinum, if you take platinum jewelry. So they concentrate only on main group, right? So the very high income group. So that we call it as niche market, sir. Exclusive products. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And there is another question. Is positioning differ from person to person? Does positioning differ from person to person?
Yes, sir. Sure. Positioning differs. So I may get a particular product and from somebody, right? So from some shop, the same product will be available in some other place, in some other shop. So according to the customer's need, they have to position it, right? So positioning differs, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Next question we have.
Yeah.
What topic is more important for a net exam point of view, ma'am? Which topic is more important?
So for marketing management, they are asking?
Yeah, I think so for marketing as well as overall, if you can say it, it will be much better, ma'am.
If we talk about the marketing management, I have told you. So when slide goes on, when PPT, market segmentation, pricing, types of goods, so and types of buying behavior, etc. are very important, sir. And the trends in marketing and the latest trend. So what goes in marketing, what are the tags adopted by online marketers, etc. can be given, sir, importance.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
There is another question. What is affiliate marketing, and with examples, if you could provide, ma'am?
Affiliate marketing, is it in the slides, sir? Just a minute. Affiliate marketing is nothing but affiliation means understanding, you can tell, affection, right? So when one company asks another company, can you act on my behalf, right? Can you push my product into the market? Why don't we both have an understanding? That we call it as affiliate marketing, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Then there is another question by Matthew, sir. What's network marketing and examples for network marketing?
So network marketing is obviously the online marketing, right? So what Amazon does, what Flipkart does, everything comes under network marketing. So digitally marketing their products, we call it as network marketing.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I request Swarnalata, ma'am, to please, brief us more on your question, ma'am. Swarnalata, ma'am, please unmute and ask your question, ma'am.
She has asked commerce versus logistics is both are having same meaning in your PPT. Commerce.
Good evening,
Good evening, Swarnalata. Good evening. Nice to see your question, but logistics is nothing but which is an advanced form. I can understand your question. Commerce, you are telling commerce is also trade, logistics also trade. That's what, no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, no, not like that. It's very, very vast, right? Commerce, if you take, you have everything inside commerce, right? Buying and selling. You have so many things. But logistics deals with the product production until it reaches the consumer, end consumer, supply chain management. So they don't deal with advertising, right? Do you understand? They don't deal with R&D. Likewise, those they see only the supply system. Commerce, it's not like that. It's wide.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. One more question from my side, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Ma'am, there is a difference between direct marketing and online marketing. In your PPT, you told me that online marketing is equal to direct marketing. Is there is any differences, please?
It's nothing. Why I have told the same means online marketing in sitting in a place, right? You can buy the product. So the direct target is you for the company. So it may be told both are same. Directly, the target is you.
Okay, then. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We shall end with this last question by Tamil Arasan, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between product line and product width, ma'am?
Product line is the number of products is offered. Maybe the variety, the main varieties. Product width is inside that product, how many varieties are sold. So maybe the product line is of Reliance's clothing, vegetables, the petrol, right? Petrol bunks, etc. Inside that thing, what they give is product width, all the varieties. That we can tell is as product width.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
There is another question. I'm really sorry, ma'am. There's another.
Yes, sir. No problem, sir.
Uh,
E-marketing.
yeah, e-marketing.
If Flipkart, Amazon falls under network marketing, what's again electronic marketing only. So these are all the different names, right? You have to be familiar. Network marketing is also electronic marketing. So when you see these terms in exams, you must be able to identify. So okay, both are same. You must be able to identify the answers by keeping these terms in your mind. Both are same.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We are very
Thank you.
delighted to have you in our virtual presence, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So to conclude today's session, I request Mr. Enoch, student coordinator, to please propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Joshua. I deem this a prized opportunity to propose a vote of thanks. I thank Dr. Deepa S. for sharing her knowledge on the topic marketing management. Once again, we thank you for your excellent presentation and patience in answering all questions. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dear participants, thank you all for your wonderful and patient listening. Thank you once again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I thank the whole team of Patrician College for giving me this opportunity, and meet you soon. Tomorrow we'll meet, right? In legal aspects of business.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. We are happy that you accepted.
Thank you, ma'am. Hearty welcome.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Shall I end, sir? Thank you, participants. Okay, sir.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Sure,
you.
sure.
Yes.
A very good evening, participants. We are ending today's session. We shall come back tomorrow, same time. The link will be sent via WhatsApp as well as to your personal mail ID. Thank you very much for joining us.